everybody, this is Robin, certified nutrition specialist, and we just have a group of healthcare professionals. We're just going to talk a little bit about our experience with taking this whole food nutrition, why we take it, why we recommend it, and just to share some details with you. So we just jump right in. Leah, if you can share with us your background and again your experience with taking this whole food nutrition, why, when, how did you even find out about it, and give us the scoop. What's the scoop?
Yes, absolutely. Well, I'm honored to be on with you, beautiful young ladies. So
Right.
I actually heard about Juice Plus from my doctor more than 13 years ago. I think she was really tired of me calling in sick. I used to suffer from a lot of different things. And I also knew that I was not getting enough fruits and vegetables in my diet. And I would say that my nutritional gap was probably the size of the Grand Canyon at the time. And I also just knew no one was eating that recommended amount. So over time, it took me about a year to be honest, but over time it made sense to me. Wow, fruits and vegetables in a capsule. None of us are eating it. I might as well start, taking it in a capsule form. And then I really looked at the research, and that right there is not only what made the doctor recommend it to me and start taking it, but also to our patients. So not only have I been taking it as a patient and then became part of the company, I actually started out as her wellness coordinator in the practice. So I still do that, all these years later, more than a decade. And, honestly, I, I could write a book on what it's done for me, but really truly what it has done is it has allowed me to heal my body in a way that I didn't even realize how sick I was until I really started to look at the difference between how I was living and how I had always lived as a kid through adulthood till now. And it's quite amazing. It was the catalyst for so many changes. And we started recommending it with the patients, started seeing that healthier babies, healthier pregnancies, healthier births, better cord blood, amounts of cord blood. I actually got a call from my doctor, or maybe it was a text one day. It was on a Sunday, and she says, "Hey, is Julia such and such taking Juice Plus?" And I said, "Yeah, why?" And she said, "I could tell by her placenta." And I thought, okay, you
Oh,
tell me about
wow.
that tomorrow. And I thought it was like
Yeah.
a really weird text until I really realized how profound. And so I always go back to thinking like, wow. And I have been able to protect my baby. He is now 12. So I started taking it when I was pregnant with him, and he's never once been on an antibiotic nor needed an antibiotic. And it's been a blessing for myself, my family, the patients. And in 23 years of being in the medical field, any doctor, I had only worked for 3 doctors during that time, but they didn't talk about nutrition. So to have a doctor that really believes in whole food nutrition, that's what really got me to start taking this. And again, the reason why we recommend it to our patients, we know no one's eating enough fruits and vegetables. We also know that if you're pregnant, have chronic disease, you work out, you're really going to need around 16 to 18 servings on a daily basis. And I don't know about you guys, but that's just not happening. And so this has been a really wonderful gift for my family, again, our patients, and just really what I've seen within my family and my friends. It's a gift. And, then the community has just been everything, especially during this time when there's a lot of things going on in the world. It's really been a source of comfort, and to be able to turn around and help people outside of the 4 walls of my doctor's office at a DNA level, at a cellular level, that's powerful. And how could you not get excited every single day? I mean, I'll tell you, I wake up with my hair on fire, and I go to bed with my hair on fire. And if it wasn't for this, I would have not been able to have a chance to meet you ladies. So I will go ahead and hand it
Awesome.
back over to you, Robin.
Thank you. What you said is people don't realize that how much produce they need, nor do they realize that what we're getting out of the store isn't vine ripened. So sometimes people will say, well, I eat enough fruits and vegetables, not understanding that what they're getting is not as nutrient dense. And this really is designed to bridge the gap between what we are eating and what we should eat. And we're never saying that this is a, uh, don't eat your fruits and vegetables. We're not saying that. We're also not saying that this is here to cure any particular disease or ailment, but we know that the body is so intelligent and it knows what to do with this nutrition. And that's why people have such profound experiences, because the body knows what to do. So thank you for that. Dr. Nailani over there in, you said, Florida. Tell us, Dr. Nailani, a little bit about your background, how long you've been taking the whole food nutrition, and just your experience with it and why you recommend it.
Well, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity again, just to to be among these ladies. I'm enjoying it already. I'm enjoying what I'm hearing, and we have something in common, Leah. I believe it was around the same time I heard about this whole food nutrition Juice Plus. I think it's been about 13 and a half years. Anyway, I have well, I've been studying nutrition since 1968. And I thought I was healthy. You know how health conscious people think they're healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Can't tell us anything, right? And I tell my story this way for this reason, because there are a lot of people in our community who, like you said, I'm vegan, I'm vegetarian, I'm raw. And I just knew I was healthy. And in 1996, I was diagnosed with breast cancer and told by more than one doctor that my only option was surgery. And that's when I was introduced to Dr. Valentine, who taught me to heal myself without drugs, without herbs, without a lot of vitamins, using proper nutrition and proper thinking. However, Robin, it made me go back to school because I thought I was healthy. Here I was telling other people how to eat. And I know it's not genetics. Genes play a very small role, between 2% and 10%. And even that percentage, I know you ladies already know this, that can be switched on or off with lifestyle. And so I went back to school to become a naturopathic doctor. And I cut all animal products out of my diet. Not that everybody has to do that. That was just a part of my healing process. And I didn't go back until recently. I just started adding a little salmon every now and then. However, the reason I'm sharing this in this way is because nobody, like you mentioned, no one is getting the nutrition that we think we're getting. There are two gaps. There's the gap a lot of us are aware of, is the gap between what we eat and what we should eat. However, there's that other huge gap between what we eat and what we get from what we eat. Big gap. And the reason being, such a simple solution, you would think, is to let it ripen on the vine, because just about 2 days before it's ready to fall off the vine is when it gets most of its nutrition, and we cut it when it's hard and green so it can be transported without spoilage. And that's understandable. It's just that the body is not getting what it thinks it's getting, or what we think it's getting. So I was juicing every single day, and then 90% raw, 85% raw, juicing, and you couldn't tell me I wasn't healthy. Still, my body was so full of inflammation that I lost range of motion in one of my hands, and with arthritis, lots of inflammation. And that's when I was introduced to this whole food nutrition. Now, I'll tell you, when I first heard about it as a naturopath, I wasn't hearing it. The lady stood up and she says, "I'm going to tell you about fruits and vegetables in a capsule." And I said to my husband, "Really?" you know. However, when the antennas went up and I could not find a thing wrong, because of the research, because of the way she said it was grown. We know that the small farmers, and it's clean, and it's live, and it's raw, and it's real. I think they got it right. So when she sat down, I said, "I love this, and I want it, and I want to become a partner." And she says, "Oh, really?" But right away, it made sense to me because of the research. We can say all kinds of testimonials. Anybody can give a testimonial. but we know what's happening. We know what's happening in the body based on the research, right? So but the question to me was, okay, I was eating so clean and juicing every single day. What was the difference? Well, first of all, it did not heal me. It did not cure me. We know that there's no such thing as a cure. There is such a thing as healing. And the body heals itself when you give it what it's starving for. And when you remove obstacles to healing, which is something that we do that's not just by taking something. You know, it's all of the areas of health that we get to look at, of the drinking enough water and resting properly and exercising along with the nutrition and thinking, giving yourself a time to relax and have some stressless moments. So all of those put together, then adding the Juice Plus, and did it happen overnight? No. I mean, if I
Mhm.
ate Juice Plus today and I was expecting to feel something, I would have quit because it was over a year
Mhm.
before I realized, wait a minute, I regained complete range of motion in my fingers. Even the knuckle went down, and that really blew my mind, blew me away. And
Wow.
I take these, I just had my 72nd birthday 2 days ago, and I have these
72nd birthday.
yes, I take these 2 hour nonstop Zumba classes that have people a third my age stopping. And I'm saying 2 hours is already? And that's because
Wow.
I've added that to a regimen that is going to lead me to better health. And so I recommend it to all of my clients and, of course, my family. And of course, I have family who still don't eat Juice Plus, and that's okay. However, we know what it's doing in the body because of the clinical research. And I will never stop eating it. I hope I didn't take too long
Thank
because
you
I
so
get
much.
excited about it like Leah. I
No,
mean,
no. I know it is exciting and it is very, very exciting. I was very, as a nutritionist, I thought I knew it all. And yeah, it was, yeah, we're tough to get through. We are. So Yvette, tell us a little bit about your background and how long you've been eating and consuming this plant nutrition and why and all of that good stuff.
About 3 years ago, I put a post up. Why is a vegetarian 32 years, exercise 7 days a week, and only consume water and blah, blah, blah? Why is my cholesterol so bad? And a doctor said, try Juice Plus. And I'm like,
Oh,
okay, whatever. So it came in.
yeah.
Well, I was a pharmaceutical rep, nurse, and a pharmaceutical rep. And the science behind every drug I've ever sold, Juice Plus has that same swag when they walk in the room. They're like, we got the science, studied it, been there, done that. So it had that, like I said, only in America you have to prove that fruits, veggies, and um, are your body that knows what to do with it. It's really sad, but we have the science behind it. Well, then I started doing nursing for dialysis clinics, and on top of all the medications, it has to go somewhere, right? So if my goal was to get as many people off of meds, allergy, pain, just that everyday medication that we really, if we just let our bodies heal itself, we don't need. You know, we're not a vitamin deficient country, we're a nutrition deficient. So I'm like, where are we going wrong? So I started telling family and friends, and they're like, huh, I stopped taking this med. My husband got off his allergy meds. Because in this country, the dialysis centers are getting younger and younger patients and sicker patients because on top of the alcohol is the medication that has to go somewhere. So my goal was to get my kids on it and then my whole entire family. And as a nurse, I'm giving people 20 meds a day by noon. I'm like, what are we doing? So when I started hearing people getting off Mobit, getting off any kind of NSAID, stopping the vitamins, because people don't realize vitamins can kill them. Too much vitamin D, too much iron, too much potassium, that can kill them. And they don't think, I'll just pop vitamins. So for now 3 years, I think I have hundreds of people on my team. I can't even tell you. I will tell anyone that listens to get them off medications because we're so quick to go to get the script for allergies to acne to autoimmune. I mean, I have people that their Juice Plus kicked their autoimmune suppressant medication out for psoriasis. It is so powerful to give the body what it needs to work in synergy to heal. And if we can just get people to understand that food is medicine, medicine's food, we wouldn't have all these co-pays and side effects, because the side effects on the commercials for the meds are longer than the dang commercial itself. So
Right.
food will heal us. Our body works in synergy with it. Medicine is made in a lab, and so is a vitamin. We pull this right from the vine. I mean, it's literally right from the vine, and people juicing and doing all, like, we do the easy button. This is the easy button. It's that gap.
Yeah.
My kids are 22 and 20. I think they've had one fever in 3 years.
Wow.
I've faces during COVID, and I haven't had a sniffle. So
Awesome.
don't skip a day, and I'm actually doubling up for the fall. So
I'm glad you said that.
doubling up in the
Doubling up.
Yep.
Yep. Absolutely. Thank you for that. You know, I'm always inspired when I hear these stories, and I'm just going to share a little bit about my story really briefly. I've been a nutritionist for 13 years, and I heard about it, and literally for a couple of years, I'm like, yeah, right. And then I'm like, I eat my fruits and vegetables. And my company had its own vitamin, and a couple of things happened. Let me just say it. When they said, you know, just try it. And they said, oh, well, your daughter will get it for free. That's the only reason why I said, okay, because I'm like, well, I eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, but my daughter doesn't, right? So she was 11 at the time. And so she started taking the whole foods, and that my baby, I mean, all of her friends were, you know, missing school, and she didn't. So that's what actually opened up my ears. And then my mother, who was recovering from cancer, I said, well, you know, Mom, try it and tell me, like, just tell me. And my mom had such positive feedback because it helped to balance her body. Because again, we're just nutrient deficient. And that's when I said, let me try this for myself. And what I know is, as with all my customers and my clients, people text me every single day with such phenomenal stories and results. And sometimes it's like, I keep just telling myself, it's just fruits and vegetables, 30 raw fruits and vegetables every day. Yeah, it's food. But I always say to people, what would happen if you flooded your body with all of this produce every day? And what I also say to people is, well, what if? Just try it. Try it. I mean, what if, right? Like, because don't take my word for it. Try it for yourself. And so for me, healthy as I can be, these are the things that I personally noticed. My eyes were red all the time. No more red eyes. My teeth didn't bleed. My hair and my nails. And I thought, like, I thought I had everything in my body. So it actually had such an effect on my daughter, my mother, and myself. But it was my mother, which I knew she wouldn't tell me a story, that made me say, you know what, let me share this with more of my clients. And it's been years now, and it's my number one recommendation. And just to think, I almost missed it because I was too I'm going to say egotistical, right? I was a know-it-all. I know about food. I know about nutrition. Yeah. And I'm like, and so I think we owe it to people that we know to say, you know what, just try it. At least I told you about it. Go ahead.
To Publix one day, and I took the quad, and I went to the grocery store, and I physically put every single thing in my cart.
Mm-hmm.
And they couldn't find the berries. Out of the 9 berries, I think they only found 3 because they don't sell elderberry. They're not going to sell acacia berry. Anyway, I got to $65 because I can't explain to people it's food in a cart. And they're like,
yeah,
because people want to say it's vitamins. So I literally did for them. I've done a lot of homework for people, and that's really what catches people. So anyway, sorry.
You said something true. It's food, right? And so this is what people don't understand. Like, I don't eat some of I only eat the vegetables that I like. And so the rest of them I don't. And there's this thing of food synergy when you're putting all the different colors. If you were to go to the store and try to put in your cart all of these 30 raw fruits and vegetables every single day, it would be outrageously expensive.
$65.
And this is just a convenient $65. Yeah.
Exactly.
So
and I had to go home and cut. Yeah. And so when I try to explain, and I went down the aisle at CVS and I wrote how much a probiotic is, how much NSAIDs are, how much ester C is. And I literally have a list on my phone and say, that's what you're buying and no one's free. And they're like, oh shoot, $65 for probiotics. I'm like, you don't need them. So it's just a really good, and if people, so I literally have a list of everything in CVS that people are trying to cure everything with. So it's helped, but anyway.
Yeah. So thank you all. Those of you that are watching this as a recording, I encourage you to contact the person that invited you here so that you can, you know, include this into your diet or at least find out more. And I do want to say this, if you're watching and you have a child and you know a child between the ages of 4 and 18 or in college, they get this whole food nutrition for free. So that's why you got to contact the person that invited you here so that they can get that for you. And yeah, so we'll cut it there. Thank you all so much for being so gracious to share your time and your experience. And again, those that are listening, contact the person that invited you here. And you know, what if?
Thank
So-
you. I'd like to
Thank
get to
you,
know
Bye.
these ladies.